Hello everybody, and in this video we are going to talk about market structure trend, and we're going to talk about how to count your zones. So first let's discuss zone counts. So here's how I personally use the zone count. When I have an extended move like this, I want to understand how many zones sequentially do I have, and when I have a retrace into a zone, I want to understand what number that zone is that price has moved back into. So in order to count these zones, here's what we need to do. I am going to have to label every one of these zones so you can fully understand the way this works. All right, so we're going to start down here at this move. This is going to be a zone number 1. So this will be zone 1. And then once we have a new zone, what happens is the most recent zone is always going to become zone 1. And the prior zone then changes to a zone number 2. All right, so now after this zone here prints, I have a 1, now this is a 2. So if price were to come back into here, I know that I'm trading out of a zone 2. Here we go, we have another zone. So now this zone is going to be my zone 1. This is going to be my zone 2. And then copy paste. This is going to be my zone number 3. All right, so now I have 1, 2, and 3. Again, we have another zone print. And I'm sorry, just bear with me, guys. This is important stuff, so I want to make sure that we cover this appropriately. I know you all can count. Okay, so now we have a zone all the way back to a zone 4. So now I'm at zone 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, now we have another zone print, and this is going to be painful, guys, but we have to go through it. We're in class right now, right? Okay, now we have all the way back to a zone 5. I know you're getting the hang of this already. It's not hard. All right, so now we get a zone 1. This is your 2. This is your 3. This is your 4, your 5, and we now have 6. You're not going to have this many zones in a row very often, but this is a perfect place to be practicing. Okay, we're getting close, guys. So now we have a 1. Here's our 2. Here's our 3. This becomes a 4. Move this to 5, 6, and now 7. And the reason this is important is because as you guys are like testing these and trading these, it might be important to understand how many zones you have in a sequence or which zone you're trading out of. All right. Now we have a zone 1 here. This zone was never taken out, so this is now our zone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, one more zone, and then you'll get an idea of kind of how this all works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, now check this out. So we have, I'm not going to worry about the bottom zone. So we have 8 zones in this row. Price comes into this last zone 1. it breaks through. This zone stops printing right here at the close of this candle. But we're in a zone 2. So is that still something we can trade? Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you end up coming up with. But for me personally, I do trade a zone 1 and a zone 2. So yes, I would still be trading out of this zone. So this is still valid for me. Now, once I go through my last 2 zones, then I'm going to just restart all counts. Let's find an example of that. Well, here's an example. So I'm just going to steal these numbers. This is going to be your zone 1, 2, and 3. So once I go through this zone 2, I know that I'm in a zone 3, and I'm not going to be trading out of a zone 3. But then the zone, once I go through this zone 2, I'm going to restart my count. So now all of a sudden, you know, I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, just like we did over here. Let me find another example. I'm trying to find an example where we break through a zone 1, but not the zone 2. Okay, this is perfect. So let's get our numbers. Okay, here's zone 1. And here's zone 2, right? And then we know that this is zone 3. So here in this situation, here's what happens. I have a zone 1 and a zone 2. We come through and we cancel out zone 1. However, this is still a zone 2. Right? It doesn't go back to 1. We still know that we're trading out of a zone 2. And then we get a new zone 1. So here's how I do this. I have a new zone 1, but this still remains zone 2. So I would still trade out of here and here because I personally take zone 1 and zone 2. And I don't trade zone 3, but this one down here would just remain zone 3. Now, maybe you do want to trade zone 3. And then on this move, zone 1 and 2 get canceled. We're in a zone 3. And then up here, we go back to a zone 1, but the whole count starts over. So this would just be a 1. I'm not going to move this to a 2. I'm just going to ignore the zone. And then now I have 1 and 2. That makes sense? Okay, I know I said I was going to cover trend as well in this video, but we're already at 8 minutes into the video. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and I'm going to do trend in another video. So I will see you in that video.